Good morning, guys. This is Franco with Trading Futures Live. What's going on? Today, another trading day. Today is Thursday, September 15th. We will review our context for the pre-market and see what to expect in this trading session, right? Let's jump right into the content. Let's review the economic side of news. We did have a jobless claim earlier at 8:30. Initial jobless claim came better than expected, and is the continuous jobless claims actually is dropping. So we do have a very strong labor market. That is what this thing is signaling. We did have some import prices year over year, but they're lower impact to the market. Manufacturing index came better than expected, but the Philadelphia Fed manufacturing index came worse than expected, right? So retail sales is the big news today. It came a bit better. Right, this is the month over month. The year over year, they don't really think impact to the market too much, but it came lower than the previous read, right? So this signals strong consumer and strong labor market, right? So I don't think that's very positive for the market right now. I would say the Fed is looking for some weakness in the labor market, and until they see that, I think we will have more hawkishness in the market. Rich, good morning. Yeah, I read that Apple is the most shortest stock right now. Wow. So a lot of people interested in Apple going down, and I'll tell you, if Apple goes down, the entire market goes down. We gotta be careful with that. A short squeeze. We did have some experience last year. All right, so we do have some more news coming at 9:15. Industrial production, etc., but nothing like really impactful. Okay, so let's go to the dollar, because the dollar started to reverse from the release of consumer retail sales. But this is the daily chart on the dollar, and I've said like this type of moves are not very are not moves that you can trust, meaning on the way up was just created because of a squeeze, and you don't have really areas where you can lean on for a continuation, right? So I would say this is what we call in the office the racetrack. So below this week till here, there's nothing, right? And I'll show you, I do have one area created in 5 minutes, and after that I don't have anything. So the dollar could retrace back down to the real demand. That would be right here at around 108.21. Okay, so let's review a lower time frame right here. Like I said, this is the high created on the 13th. That was Tuesday with the sell-off, and we haven't broken to the upside. That tells me that the dollar has a lot of supply right here, right? And if we drop today and the 10-year, also drops, it's time to go long in the market, right? But we'll see. For me to confirm that move, I will need the dollar to break to the downside right here, and then when it comes back, I certainly will be long in the markets, right? So this is the dollar. This is a 30-minute on the dollar. I don't think we have to go low on time frame. If you guys want to see my demand, is this one is a rally-based rally created on the CPI news, and we couldn't come back here. It was very strong, but below this, like I said, I do have a racetrack to the downside. So I do think we have some opportunities here. If the dollar comes back here, I don't want to long the dollar. I want to short the dollar right here, right? If this area holds, meaning this does this one, I will be shorting the market. I'll be paying attention closely to the 10-year yield today. Because it's in a very important area where it can break out to the upside or just a reverse from there. Okay, so if the dollar comes here, this is all right. I want to say the fact that we did not break yesterday to the upside tells me that the dollar has some supply, right? But here is a demand. For me, to play this demand is very important because we are just chopping around for one day. It was not like 2 weeks of chopping around, right? So it's just one day. If we come here, I would expect some continuation. If we break this area to the downside, then I will play the short on the dollar here. That means a long on the equity markets, right? Right now, the markets are reacting positively off of the retail sales. All right, regarding the 10-year yield, I said I will be paying attention to this 10-year yield to continue to go up. If it goes up, then that will be reassuring my short in the equity markets. If this one comes down, then and the dollar is coming down, then I will be paying attention to the longs. Okay. All right, the VIX. We couldn't go over the high on Tuesday, right? And I've said repeatedly, this is a very important point. I don't think this is gonna hold. Sorry about that. If we go to the daily, let's take a look at the daily. So we came here on Tuesday and we are rejecting that point. Let's see if today we get the dollar in demand. This thing has to go up and break to the upside. If the dollar is not gonna hold, then this thing is gonna continue down. Sorry about that. Need to calm down. All right, my guard dog. All right, so very choppy movement on the VIX. We did have a push up, but then like we have had this type of behavior. Like we did have it like 2 weeks ago. We went up and then we chop it around, then we moved down. We chopped for a couple of days, move up, and now we're chopping, right? Let's see. Next week is the FOMC meeting. We do not have any more impactful news for today and tomorrow. So I will expect the market just to chop around today and tomorrow. Yesterday was a very difficult market. It was choppy the entire day until the run up in the afternoon. All right, so I don't think we have too much information from here. I do have this supply area that worked before. Now it can work as a demand if we go down to the 30-minute. So we haven't broken it yet. Well, yesterday was not a day to break it, and today we're still holding right here. We created this 2 pivot, we held here, broke to the upside. So my expectations, if the dollar is in demand and the 10-year yield is going up, I do expect this thing to go up. So 10-year up, dollar in demand, this thing pushing higher a little bit, that's a nice short for the equity markets. Now we're hitting levels, right? We're hitting demands. I don't want to get caught just shorting at the lows. You need to give it some breathing room and have some risk and reward ratio so you can have a good setup. Because a lot of people want to take breakouts to the downside, and there are demands. Even if the market is going to continue going lower, you will find demand, right? Buyers. And unless you have unlimited risk, then you could sell, but you have to take your trades with some limited risk, right? So I don't want to get caught just shorting, breaking down, because we're facing demand. Regarding the CL, our same area here just is holding. Is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the fourth day in a chop. I would say my supply is 92.50. We're just in our way to our 92.50. Now this area is a very important area. 1 pivot, 2 pivot on the daily. I think the real supply starts right here at 90.50. We can close yesterday, but the best area to short is 92.50. That's crude oil, right? So commodities are going down with the dollar going down. That's one thing that I want to pay attention to, because commodities are priced in dollars, right? If you see the dollar is coming down, gold is going down, lumber is going down, copper is going down, silver is going down, crude oil is going down. So this tells me two things. Either the dollar is going to change or the commodities are going to change. So what's the highest probability? I do have a nice area in the dollar. The dollar is the one that has the clear trend. So I will say the dollar has a higher probability to just turn around today and turn into a green territory, right? If that happens, we will have some more downside on the equity markets. All right, so with the ES, some chop fast, we're in a range since the drop on Tuesday, and we hit a demand that I have yesterday here on 39.30. We hit it in the afternoon, and we haven't broken to the upside. So my high quality supply is 39.95, right? But I want to pay attention how we break to the upside. If we break slowly, like this, I will be careful shorting right here, just for the fact that we're chopping and we're creating demands on our way up. That means that risk and reward ratio is not good. It's not a juicy trade. Whereas if we just have one solid candle to this area, then yes, right? Why is that? Because like same scenario with the dollar. If we don't have some basis created, some demand created on our way up, that means that we can just turn around and squeeze all these buyers that were here, right? Or it could have been that it went up on a vacuum, right? Just orders, the big orders were here. So that we want to pay attention to that. All right, same scenario for the Nasdaq. So we are in this range, a little bit larger in the Nasdaq, but same thing. Now my demand is far on the NQ. So the risk and reward ratio for us is better in the NQ to the short side. I would expect this thing to just go up in the morning. I mean, in the opening, dollar in demand, a 10-year yield going up, and then execute a short to this. If either today or next week. I do think we are not in an area that we can just turn around. We can chop, go up, go down, but ultimately I think a 11,900 is a possible number, right? Well, anything is possible, but that's what I am looking for. Okay, so let's review the RTY. I haven't checked the RTY chart in a little bit. All right, so the RTY is, I would say, the strongest one. If you guys see the daily, for the first time we touched this double top right here, right? And we went up. Now we're retesting that that zone that was created, the drop base rally, right? So very interesting chart on the RTY though. We did have a bullish candle yesterday. We broke to the upside. So let's go down on time frame. All right, if we break here, because this supply right here on the this supply right here on the RTY is already been tested, right? So we'll look for this. So the RTY has more bullish case right here because the supply is already tested. The ES and the NQ, they haven't tested this supply. So if the dollar ends up dropping today, probably the RTY will be the best choice to getting long. All right, and let's go see Apple. I think I have Apple right here. Yes. All right, Apple is still in the demand that we had for days. The supply did not work on our way down. We did have this supply right here, these two touches, and then the retest to the downside. I said 1, 2, it's already used up, probably will not work, and that was the what ends up happening. I think next up is 166, but we still need to see what this demand is gonna end up doing. I don't think on our way down, right? If you see this, we have created a trend line right here. We have created this trend line. So until this trend line is not broken, I will not say Apple can recover. And the demand is being touched 1, 2, 3, and today we're gonna open that. This is the 4th time that we're gonna be in this demand. I would say it can is weaker right now because of how many touches we have had. And if today we don't break this trend line, I would say this area will ultimately fail, and we can go for 150. And below that, I haven't marked them out, but I think like 143 is it'll be the next stop. Now, if this thing ends up, if we don't have some sort of like upside momentum today, we could chop around, but that means that the more time we spend here, the weaker it gets. The weaker it gets, that there's more probability of a downside. Below that, I do have 148, which I don't like too much. The one that I really like is 143 around here, but we're so far, we're like $12 from there. So I do think, let's come back to the dollar. I do think my play will be today, the dollar coming back to this demand, fake everyone out below this pivot, right? Thinking that the dollar is going to drop, come to this bear trap, and just go up, right? And with that, the equity markets will continue to go down. All right, very short pre-market analysis. I will see you guys in 15 minutes. If you like what I do here, please consider subscribe and share it with your friends so we can grow the channel. All right, see you guys in a little bit. Thank you.